Hey everyone, Pratiti Pathak here. Welcome to Unpacking Brain Drama, where we talk about real life experiences, the challenges and the obstacles. Sometimes we use them to block ourselves. Sometimes we use them to grow and evolve. Here's what I want to say. Obstacles are not the things blocking our path. Obstacles are the path. So in other words, we have to grow through what we go through. So join me as we have some amazing conversations with some amazing guests. Let's go. What's up, my wonderful Wednesday people? Here we are unpacking our brain drama, and it is the middle of your week and the middle of your morning, closer to the end of your morning, but we are also towards the end of our year. Like this is the last month before the last month. I almost said it wrong. So welcome. And today I want to talk to you all about the thing that we're all focused on this time of the year is gratitude. First off, I just want to start by saying I have so much gratitude. And one of the things that stands out for me is we put so much more emphasis on it at this time of the year versus having it with us all year round as a part of our daily lives, a part of our daily routine. So today we're going to talk about gratitude. What is it? Why do we want it? Why is it important? And what's the benefits of having it, right? What is it? And you know what I do? I always go and ask the all-knowing Google for the exact definition of what gratitude actually is. So I'm just going to tell you. Gratitude is this positive emotion. Let me just get this thing out of my way here. It is a conscious, positive emotion that one can express when feeling thankful for something, whether it's tangible or intangible, right? Something or someone. But I want to say that gratitude is so much more than just saying thank you or showing good manners or just being kind just for the sake of being kind, right? It's a practice that requires us to acknowledge someone else's gesture towards us or the things that are going on in our lives. And it involves both like a process of recognition, of positivity, and the outcome, the positive outcome, right? But when you think about it, like how many times a day do you actually think you say thank you and you're not actually feeling thankful? I need to think about that for a minute because I have been doing a lot of stuff this past couple of weeks. I just had a client party on Monday night. It is the time of year where I offer a free pie of my client's choice for their Thanksgiving dinner if they celebrate Thanksgiving or whatever family dinner that they want to have it for. And then that's my way of showing gratitude for them. And I then invite them over to my home and I have a happy hour pie pickup. So I bake a cheesecake and I have food and drinks and fun and music. And we all gather around and pick up our pie. And then we also just hang out and chill and talk and laugh and hug and kiss each other. So it's just so much fun. But, you know, I do these little types of things all year round. I stop by and see my clients, see how they're doing. I might bring them a little gift. I'm always just showing them how grateful I am for having them in our lives, right? So gratitude for me is just much more than just showing good manners, right? And I talk about this also a lot in my other business, which is this business, the coaching business. And as a life coach, we talk a lot about setting goals, right? Especially this time of year too. We talk about setting goals for January and the new year. And goals is something, again, that you need to be setting all year round, right? You should be checking in with yourself on that. But the one thing I notice when we're talking about setting goals, anytime I ever ask anybody to write a list of their goals, they're usually talking about things that they don't have, right? When we're setting goals, it usually ends up coming from a place of lack or want or something that we think we don't have. And that's one thing I notice is we're in this scarcity mindset where we spend a lot of time thinking about things that we don't have or wanting things that we don't have, right? More money. We want better jobs, better career, maybe more time. I hear that all the time, right? I need more time. Maybe want better health, right? A stronger body, material things like clothes or shoes. A car, a house, maybe, right? Maybe it's a soulmate. Maybe it's a new soulmate. Maybe we want to get rid of the one we have and trade them in for a new one. But when I think about that, I think gratitude is one of the most amazing emotions, right? It's an emotion, it's a feeling of gratefulness, it's a feeling of thanks, of love, of honor, of feeling blessed. All of those things are feeling gratitude, and it is an emotion that we feel. And how do we create our emotions? By how we choose to think about things. So think about when you're grateful for something or someone, or you're grateful for something that happens in your life. It's the gratitude in your heart, right? What happens when that happens? What happens when you feel that deep emotion in your heart, right? When I feel that deep gratitude, I feel super excited. It energizes me. I feel elated. Like I'm so energized. It literally increases the energetic vibration in my body. It's when I vibrate at the highest level. I know that sounds so crazy. And some of you may not be all about the woo, but it is not woo. It's literally how we are connected to ourselves and each other is through the energy and what level we vibrate, right? That's what we attract to us. So when you experience these types of emotions, you don't have room for other emotions, right? When you feel energized and elated and excited and you feel grateful and thankful, you don't have space for feeling negative emotions. You don't have space for creating anxiety and panic and sadness and depression or panic or fear, right? Gratitude has both. It has short-term effects and it has long-term effects if practiced on a regular basis. What I mean by that is if you actually consciously, intentionally focus on things that you're grateful for, it's very hard to focus on things that you're unhappy about at the same time. So this is not my research, but research through positive psychology, so not mine, says that practice regularly, if gratitude is practiced regularly, you are bound to be happier all overall. But why? Right? Because research shows that consciously feeling gratitude on a consistent basis literally, wait for it, changes your brain, right? Research found that people who tend to be more grateful have more brain activity in their medial prefrontal cortex, right? That's the part of your brain that is your decision maker. It is where logic and, learning happens. It's in this part of your brain. And this brain activity persists an entire month after you felt the gratitude. So I know this is like mind blowing for a second. If you think about it, when you feel grateful for something, when you feel excited for something, you automatically increase that vibrational energy and it carries through for an entire month. And what I'm saying is not just like once and then all the rest of the time you're negative. I mean, if you're doing it on a consistent basis, then you absolutely create that momentum for the gratitude to just continue on and that energy to continue on for an entire month, which suggests that it has long-term effects, right? So being grateful on a consistent basis has a long-term effect. Here's how I talk a lot about the compound effect and the return on investment. And when I think about the return on investment for feeling gratitude for things in our lives, here's how it builds up over time by having a long-term effect on our mood and our behavior. And it creates this snowball effect, right? It just snowballs. So let's break it down for a minute. You have a thought that's positive, or I'm grateful, or I love, or, and then that creates the emotion. So what does that thought sound like? It sounds like I'm so happy for, I'm so grateful for. I'm going to share with you a few examples of my very own. So I do this for myself and I do it with my clients. I have them make a list of things that they're grateful for, but I have them break it down. Like this is especially a little exercise I have them do when they're doing goal setting. So I have them create a list of 5 to 10 things that they are grateful for from their past, present, and then what they would be grateful for in the future. So this is how we're going to set goals. We're going to be consciously appreciating what we already have. We spend time wanting things that we don't have. I want us to focus for a minute on really wanting what we already have. So for instance, I'm going to just read off a bunch of mine. I am so grateful for the deep, connected, bonded relationship I have with my son, Devin. I'm grateful and energized by the love and support I receive from my family and friends. I love living in a healthy and pain-free body that's strong and allows me the freedom to do the things that I love to do. I'm so thankful for now for all of my experiences in my life that I have had. And now I get to use them to help others. I am so thankful for this gorgeous home that I live in. I'm thankful for having healthy parents and happy parents. I'm energized with gratitude every time I cook and entertain other people and family members and friends in my stunning kitchen. I am so grateful and energized every time I come onto this platform, right? And I get to connect with all of you. One of the ways to increase your vibrational energy is by adding on as much detail to these sentences that you are telling that are all true, right? The more detail you add onto it, on why you're grateful for having it or why you would be grateful if you had it and what that changes for you in your life. So let me give you an example of that. Like I already said, like I'm so grateful and blessed for my bonded relationship with my son, but let me just take it further, right? I'm blessed to have been Devin's mother and always will be. And I love the amount of strength and energy I receive from and through him and his love for me. Do you see how adding on to all of that, like you increase it more and more, right? Like you really deepen that feeling of gratitude and really connect with what you're actually grateful for. You're also reinforcing why you're grateful for it, what that does for you in your life, and the benefits due to the research, again, not my own, is that it in the moment, it instantly raises your level of happiness by 10% and instantly decreases. This is the better wait. This is the most amazing part is it like instantly also decreases any like depressive symptoms by 35%. Like that's amazing. Right? Over time, if you make gratitude a daily habit and a part of your daily practice every day, it literally prevents anxiety and depression. Like very hard to be somebody who's constantly stressed out and depressed and anxiety ridden or panic or fear. If you are practicing being thankful and grateful and looking around you and appreciating and loving the things that you have in your life and feel blessed from it, right? Let's talk about some of these benefits, right? It improves your health, like literally your physical health by giving you more restorative sleep, right? It allows you to sleep deeper because you're not worried about things. It boosts your immune system. Like, let's think about that for a moment. It boosts your immune system, something that's absolutely necessary to combat illness, keeping you more protected from viruses or anything else that could come your way than anything else. Not discounting medication. I personally have never been a medicine person. And for me, the more I can do through my own, mind and practice with mental health and emotional health to increase my physical health, that is more valuable to me than just letting it go on its own and then hoping that there's a medication out there that can help me, because as you know, every medication has side effects. Not even going to get into medication right now, but the other thing it does is it also lowers your blood pressure, right? Lowering your blood pressure, lowering your cholesterol, fewer aches and pains, because as you know, maybe some of you don't know, but your aches and pains in your body do not come from just banging your toe or stubbing your toe or, an injury, a physical injury. That's what we think. But really, it comes from this emotional and mental anguish that shows up physically in your body. And that's something that if you all are interested, I have some really, really great books that you can read on that. It's a real thing. But I want to go into one other thing. I talk so much and I love it. So, what is something that goes hand in hand with gratitude? Gratitude starts with ourself, and how we can show gratitude for ourselves by learning and increasing our capacity for forgiveness. Now, this is huge because they really do go hand in hand, right? And it starts with our ability to show gratitude and to allow to give ourselves some forgiveness, right? When we can forgive ourselves, that will change how we show up for other people, because it starts with the ability to forgive ourselves in order for us to feel gratitude for ourselves. I hope that's making sense for you. So I'm talking all this time about being grateful for other people and things outside of us. And now I want to just dive in a little bit and bring the attention back to where it all has to start. Where it all has to start. Love, compassion, kindness, and gratitude and forgiveness starts with ourselves, because when we can truly love ourselves and hold space for ourselves, then we can give the forgiveness to ourselves. And then we can be grateful for who we are, what we stand for, and how we show up in the world. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Maybe, just maybe, the more forgiveness and gratitude we can hold in our own hearts for ourselves, the more we can give to others and find so much more ease in allowing other people to just be them and love them anyway, regardless of what they think or how they disagree with us or how things don't match up with us, and just allow it to be that way. Just imagine more love in the world, more gratitude for what we have and for each other. The more we can give to one another, we would be healthier and happier and smarter. I mean, can you just imagine how amazing it would be right now versus what we've got going on in the world right now? If we could learn to feel more gratitude just for ourselves and each other and allow ourselves some grace and show up in a way that is in alignment with our own core values and show up in a way of integrity with ourselves and each other. I'm going to give you just 5 little tips that you can start maybe on your gratitude journey. Maybe you're already doing some things, and that's beautiful. And just to be a little more intentional. So here's like 5 little things that we can do. Any one of them, 3 or more of them, amazing, right? Tip number 1, write on a daily basis 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for. Actually, make a list of everything that you're grateful for and use them for daily affirmations. That's tip number 2. Use them for daily affirmations on what you're grateful for every day, right? Start a gratitude journal. Tip number 3, meditate. That's a big one for me. I love that, because when you can take some time to be intentional and be in your own mind and body, That will bring so much gratitude to your heart. And now, tip number 5 is to focus on other people's intentions when they do nice things for you, right? Because that's where it all started, was that say please and thank you. When you say thank you, really think about, are you thankful for what they're doing or how they're being nice or how they're showing up for you? Because I think these are some of the ways that we forget how important it is to just feel that in our own heart. Because think about it. If you are listening to this Facebook Live, and if you've somebody that's been listening to the Facebook Live, or you're somebody who's been listening to the recordings or listening to my podcast, it's not like I get 10,000 thank yous every day and comments and likes and shares, but that doesn't mean that they're not feeling thankful and grateful for having heard this today, right? So feeling it is so much more important than saying it. And I'm not saying to not say it. Say it, but don't say it if you're not feeling it. Feeling it is way more important than just saying it. And here's another way. I have so many tips. Those are 5. But if you see somebody and you love what they're wearing, tell them. If you see somebody in your household and they're doing a great job, tell them. Tell people what you're feeling. So many times, I mean, I hear this all the time, especially being in business. If somebody doesn't like what you're doing, they'll definitely leave bad review. If they love what you're doing, highly unlikely they're going to go out of their way to leave a good review. So that is something to be thinking about, right? When you hear something that's amazing, tell them. When you see something that looks amazing, tell them. When they do a good job, tell them, especially your children, especially your significant others, especially your family and friends, especially your clients, especially the people you do business with. Anybody that interacts with you, make it intentional on how you show up in that interaction. Because one thing that my son has taught me, and this is something to be super grateful for, especially if you've lost loved ones, grateful for the reminder on how important these relationships are, how precious life is, how uncertain it is. Who are you going to show up at the table with this holiday season? What would it be like for you if that person or if somebody on that table wasn't there the next holiday? What if this was their last interaction with you? We never know that, right? We never know when we're in our last 24 hours. So when you think about it, it is this moment that is the most important moment. And the reason is because we never know when we're going to have another moment. And when you think about your life that way and you show up in your interactions with the world around you in that way and from that space and from that thought and from that gratitude and feeling from your heart, it shows up automatically everywhere. It's very hard to be negative and self-destructive when you have that as a core value. Please consider making gratitude and forgiveness and generosity one of your core values that is in alignment with integrity of who you are as a human being in the world. And that can change so many things in the world if we all vibrated at that level. Have a beautiful holiday. Have a beautiful week. And I love you all. And I want you all to know I'm grateful and honored to be here with you every single week. Have a beautiful week, people. I love you guys. Thank you for listening to Unpacking Brain Drama podcast. You'll find links for all the things mentioned below in the show notes. And it would be incredibly awesome if you would take a quick moment to leave a review on iTunes or wherever you listen. If you'd like to be considered as a guest on our podcast, be sure to go to www.resultsbydesigncoaching.com for a free 30-minute coaching session. Thanks so much, guys. See you next time.